Where are we, Claire?
Oh, we're in Anglesey still, but we've come to see a famous train station.
What, one off Harry Potter?
No, a better than that.
Ooh, Thomas the Tank Engine?
No, keep going.
Unfortunately, Andy couldn't keep going because his knowledge of train stations is far more limited than he thought before starting this video.
We're enjoying the fresh weather. It's a lovely day today in comparison to what we've had. James Pringle Weaver's, Anglesey.
Does that help anybody guess where we are?
They do a £7 breakfast here. That's cheaper than
We should
Conway.
have had that, shouldn't we? That'd only buy you one sausage in that other place. We only got one sausage.
Says it's delicious as well. All right. I know where we are.
Can you say that? think we should try.
Caernarfon, Pol, Gwyn, Gogri, Schwirnd, Rob, Willanti, Silo, Go.
And he claims that he nailed it.
Look over there, there's some sort of big statue.
Like there's a guy on top of that. What's he doing?
Who's he?
You'd absolutely love to be the sign writer in this town.
You made some right coin on that sign.
I can't fit it on my screen. I have to go widescreen.
Rob Williams Gogogok.
Rob Williams.
Oh, look at it.
It's Goch.
Yeah,
I know
at the
that.
end.
Llanfair, Pwe, Gwyn, Gil, Gogarig, Weirin, Rob, Willianti,
There you go.
Silo, Goch.
Rob Williams. Gogogok.
Robbie Williams? What's Robbie Williams got
No,
to
Rob.
do with
It says Rob Williams.
Llan, Pwyn, Gwynlyn, Mark Owen, Robin William, Gary Barlow, Goch. There you go.
Unfortunately, dogs aren't welcome in the big shop next to the car park, but it is surprisingly big and stocked full of essentials like beer and cuddly dragons.
Can you see that? So that's the Marquis of Anglesey's column.
Oh,
It's
really
27,
tall.
yeah, 27 metres high.
who's on it then?
And well, it's a guy called Henry William Paget, and it's there to commemorate his valour in the Napoleonic Wars.
Moving on, we head towards a bucket list activity, crossing the Menai Bridge. The Menai Bridge is a suspension bridge that joins Anglesey with the Welsh mainland. Designed by the great Thomas Telford in 1826, it crosses the Menai Strait, which was created by glacial erosion on a fault line. Unfortunately, Claire selected the wrong route on the sat-nav, so they are now crossing the Britannia Bridge.
We have made it to our next camping destination, which is called what?
Hendy's caravan site.
We're in a place that is even harder for Claire to pronounce than the last place we went to. Where are we?
Caernarfon.
Oh, you got it right. You've been telling me that we're going to Caernarfon Castle all the way over, and I'm like, I've never heard of that
Trying
one.
really hard to say it right.
Turns out we're just in Caernarfon. Anyway, we're going to go and have a look at this beautiful castle that's full of history. And we've got loads of facts for you, so get yourself a cup of tea, get yourself a Madri or a
Fact-olicious.
biscuit. Let's get going.
Baby.
It's a nice pitch, it's very level.
Yeah.
And I'm getting the vibe that this is a working farm. Not sure why.
It's a dairy farm.
I hope they've registered the chickens. I can hear a train.
What's that little train about?
I wonder if it's going to Crankling, Quenkling, Marcoing.
Yeah, I think it might be.
You had a bath, Claire? The amount of work I have to do after Claire has a bath. Right tide mark.
You have to get your scrubber out.
No, you get yourself out of bath. There's always work to be done.
It would suit you to be a farmer, because you like to
think
be
so?
busy, don't you?
It's got machinery, you're busy, but it's hard work though.
Oh, yeah. I could be a good farmer's wife.
What does that entail then?
Get your tea ready.
Hey, listen, it's
Do that anyway.
2024, you can get ploughing field. I've had a quick look on Google Maps, and there's a train line that's at the bottom down here, and I think there's a footpath all the way into Caernarfon. Google was right. So there's this train track, not sure of the gauge. It's not quite narrow gauge,
It's very narrow.
but it's quite narrow, but it's not narrow. And then we've got a footpath that takes us down to, what's it called?
Caernarfon.
Really good from that campsite because you're not walking on this busy road. When we pull up, just watch your back.
Thank you.
Watch your back. Thank you.
Thank you.
There we go. One of our first Views of Caernarfon Castle, just overlooking Travis Perkins' bathroom showroom. This looks interesting.
Yeah.
Festiniog and Welsh Highland Railways. All these places that you can go to.
Yeah.
So can you go up to Snowdon from this?
You can go to a place up there, yes you can.
Snowdon Ranger. There we go. That's Mount Snowdon.
Oh, there it is.
1,085 metres high. There's the sign, what's it called again?
Caernarfon.
Oh look, there's a train carriage there for the Highland Railway. The Welsh Highland Railway. It's an old one as well. I like the look of that,
Looks
Claire.
beautiful, yeah.
It's old. I wonder what that's going to be.
Oh, yeah. It's in a good position opposite the train station.
Just outside train station.
Oh, near the castle.
Hey, look at this. It gets better. Look how beautiful this is.
Oh, it's gorgeous, yeah.
So this is nice, but then it turns into first class, Claire.
Can you see through the window? Can you see the wine glasses on the table?
They've got Shackleton high seat chairs. Claire, I think at some point I'd like to be lucky enough to come first class on the Welsh Highland Railway. Let us know if you've been on the Welsh Highland Railway. We'd love to hear about it. Were it good? Were it worth it? How much was it?
That's the seat that I want.
Right in the window?
Yeah,
Now that is
Wow.
first class, isn't it?
yeah.
Look at this. The steam engine. Absolutely beautiful. Do you see what that says?
South African Railways.
Yeah. It's got a really nice terminal as well. Very modern. So this is where you come for the Welsh Highland Railways in there. Nice little cafe as well. Got some art galleries down here. We like a look through the window of an art gallery. Between the two bridges, so we passed the Britannia Bridge, didn't we?
You did, yes.
And then there's the Menai Bridge, and they have these swellies, or whirlpools. And they're saying that when they took this picture, the guy who took them out on a rib, you know, like those inflatable
Yeah.
boats, they killed the engine, and it showed just what it does, swirled the boat round.
Did it do that? Wow.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. Now, I hope you're ready for some facts, because
Yeah.
this place is full of facts. This was built the same time as Rhuddlan Castle, and also at the same time as Conwy Castle. The architect actually were the same person, and he was called James of St. George.
What a cool name.
He was from Switzerland. James of St. George, he were doing loads of work over in Europe, and then Edward I went across to Europe, to France, because they had these treaties, didn't they? And people
They did,
paid
yeah.
homage to each other and everything. And basically he saw what the castles were like over there, and he found this guy.
He wanted them himself.
So he brought him across to Wales, and they were all built at the same time as a project.
He was a busy guy then, wasn't he?
Very busy guy. So Edward I. Now, this that you're looking at, that's Queen's Gate. So originally, this was what they call a motte and bailey site. And a motte was like a mound, you know, like at Tut Hill.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're natural, and other times they just build a big mound up. And then the bailey was the structure that were on top.
Okay.
And then this got put on that section. But we'll go and have a look at this Queen's Gate, because there's all sorts of stuff. Can you see all the ridges that are inside there?
Yeah.
Well, there's all sorts of mad stuff that they put in there to
Mad stuff.
stop people from getting into the castle.
Right.
Before we move on though, one thing I would say is that this is what they call a linked castle.
Wow.
You're laughing at me
I'm
because
not
I know
laughing, I
this.
love it.
But it's a linked castle because they actually built, at the same time as they were building the castle, they built some town walls all the way through, and it was integrated into the town walls.
Okay, so linked.
Linked castle. Some castles stand on their own, but this was a linked castle.
It's a beautiful castle, isn't it?
What you've got is these turrets that you
Yeah,
can see
see?
up there, and this has got more turrets than most castles.
Right.
And these are polygonal instead of being round. And the reason why they had that is so that they could provide different angles to shoot people at with the arrow windows.
Is that why?
Yeah. Predominantly, they're used for lookouts. That's why they're taller than the rest of them.
Wow, I love these facts.
You'll see that the windows for the arrows, they're all pointed down. They're like
Yeah.
on an angle, so that they could get the bows in and go down there. So this guy was supposed to be a genius at building.
You knew what
These
you
type of
needed
structures.
to have in a castle. You're liking castles now.
I've been learning about castles. It's quite interesting. Like military and that, isn't it? So
Yeah.
I think the thing is, if I'm honest, we're coming out and doing this, it gives me a reason to be interested in it. And then I've started looking into it. It's like, oh, that's really good. Before, when I was at school, I just wondered what were for dinner. Chips were always best day at school. Did you get chips at your school?
No, we'd have sandwich and soup for our lunch.
Oh, God. I've had to come off the gimbal for this bit, Claire.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you can see up there.
Yeah.
There's some holes just in the gate. Can you
Yeah,
see?
I can actually, yeah.
Do you know what they are?
No?
Called murder holes.
Murder holes.
Murder holes. If you're attacking, it was like a last form of defence. So when people were coming in, they'd just drop things on people.
Like what?
Rocks, shoot them. Hot water, boiling oil.
On the heads?
Yeah.
Well, that would stop them coming in, wouldn't it?
I mean, you would have to be doing really well to even get to that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I bet that was unusual to get so close. There's some dude up there, look.
We're gonna have a look. I know who that is.
Who's that?
Neil Diamond. You can see some of the town walls there.
Yeah, okay. So that was connected then?
It's all connected. It was a linked castle. Can you see the brickwork on there?
Yeah, I can see it.
So, and there's that, like, stripes that go across.
Yeah, I see the stripes.
Well, that were intentional. That's not wear and tear. And Edward I,
Yeah.
he took a lot of his inspiration from Byzantine Roman Empire.
Right, yeah.
And he put this into this castle to think as a show of authority. And in fact, there's some architectural, what do they call them? They call them motifs in music, but where, you know, it's being used on one building and then into another one.
Yeah.
And in Conway and Caernarfon Castle, and
Woodland.
they've got similar windows. Let's go see Neil. Lloyd George. When this guy was Chancellor,
Yeah.
he insisted that the investiture of the Prince of Wales took place at Caernarfon Castle.
Here.
So this is where King Charles was invested. That's right, isn't
think
it?
it's
That's
the
the
word.
term. He was invested as Prince of Wales, and everyone since.
So I wonder if William came and did that here then?
We're going to come back to the castle in a bit because castle facts are off the chart, aren't
Oh
they?
yeah, I love them.
But here we are in the nice little
In
square.
the square.
And we're going to have a little walk round. Got some beautiful flowers. Very tidy.
Clean, yeah.
It's all very tidy, hardly any rubbish.
Yeah.
You know this area, this was like the castle square, and once a week they used to have a market.
I love a good market.
But people bring the farm animals, cattle, sheep, and
Here?
they'd barter for it. And also, there are a bit of land just outside the castle, and they do not good stuff like bull baiting, cockfighting, and things
Right,
like
okay.
that.
I suppose in
This-
those days that's what they did.
This were absolutely mad.
They had a nice buzz, I bet.
The buzzers didn't come while about 1920, and then it all changed from there. So this is huge Owen, and he is a big lad. I've heard about this guy. He were on a mission to educate the people of Wales. This has got sensors on it. Watch. Wait up. It'll not let me walk through it. Watch. So, that's nice.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Oh, I feel like we're in Europe. We've got some nice stuff. We're past breakfast, so we can't have that. But look at that. Posh fish finger.
So what are you going to have?
No, but I know where it is. It's got a diamond ring on it. Look here. Croque Madame, Croque Monsieur, Croque Van. Or just Crocs.
You love Crocs.
Hey, they've got all sorts here.
Yeah, it's quite nice.
Pastrami and emmental, sauerkraut and pickles. I thought it were a bit European, and it feels like it, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it does, yeah. Are you having that?
I think I might. Reuben. We have a Reuben. With some thick cooked chips.
Oh, yeah.
What are you having?
Should we share the chips?
Well, I'd like my own chips.
A whole portion of chips to
You
yourself?
don't know how big they are. So this is called the Porthy Brennan Cafe.
Yeah.
And there's a gift shop as well. They do cards, gifts and balloons. One thing I would say is that the hospitality in this cafe is brilliant. Really friendly ladies. And we've got some lovely food coming. And the latte, by the way, is very nice. I think, if I'm honest, tourist prices, because we're next to the castle. I've got a view of the British Red Cross, whereas you've got Caernarfon Castle. Behind cameras, Claire's like this, because we're trying to practice his moves for his B-roll. She's telling me to have a drink of my latte. I've been doing a lot of research, watching videos and stuff, not people on YouTube, I mean real ones, like Palin, Wicker, Chalmers, McDonald's, them type of people. So here we are, I've got, it's called a Reuben. Sounds, is it like a Swiss thing, a Reuben? It's got sauerkraut on it, or is it German? And you've got, what's yours, bacon?
Tuna.
Bacon.
Tuna and onion.
Ooh, I can smell it. Delicious. Oh, and we've got
I can
these.
smell your pickles.
And then we've got
Chips.
these chunky chips. I said only one, Claire. Look at them. Oi, get out, you're like taxman.
Our adventurers faced a terrible predicament that could have been used for a viral video title. Ideas such as, they refused to take our money, or my personal favorite, we were told to leave, were discussed, but the reality is that you can't take dogs into Caernarfon Castle. Even these two clowns thought they were a bit of a stretch, so Claire decided to take one for the team by using last month's advertising payout and pay for herself a ticket to look around while Andy waited outside with the dogs. Claire decided that it would only be a fair deal if Andy waited for her to complete the 2-hour tour before he could go into the pub. It was the least he could do. Claire made her way up to the top of one of the many mighty lookout towers to admire the view, and was surprised to see a familiar sight approaching what looked like a pub. Now, Andy might look thicker than a Boxing Day dump, but we should never judge a book by its rubber, knowing full well that Claire can breathe down his neck at any second, and the fact that he is about to order a cheeky pint. He makes a quick yet thorough sweep of the area with his phone's zoom lens. Although Claire looked like she was being friendly, Andy knew too well that this situation could be brought up in 6 months' time and used against him, so he needed an alibi. Luckily, a motorbike was parked next to where he was standing, and this would form the basis of his cover story. Knowing this was bulletproof, he rewarded himself with a pint.
This is a swing bridge. I'll tell you what, the bridge isn't the only thing swinging, because that old guy's really enjoying his music in that car.
It's beautiful music, wasn't it?
How nice though.
Country
He's come
music.
down in his car, and he's playing some lovely songs. He's looking out to sea. It's mighty.
Imposing, really imposing. Inside, it just must be a nightmare to know where you're going. you're doing your washing and that.
So these are the town walls,
Yes.
and they started working 1284 and started on the walls and the castle at the same time. And the walls encircle the entire town, or they did do. But this bit they put next to the quay because they wanted access to the water from the
course,
castle.
yeah.
And on this little area, they were going to put a water gate,
Right.
but it never got built.
I wonder what
And
happened.
there's loads of this castle that never actually got finished.
So it never got finished?
There's a lot of rooms. I know there weren't many rooms inside. As such, were
But
there?
you can't tell because there's just nothing inside at all.
No, that's it. But there were more rooms at the time.
Okay.
There were a period of dilapidation of it. Nobody looked after it.
Okay.
So those rooms, the roofs and everything, in 1600s, the roofs have caved in and everything else. But there were loads of it that weren't finished.
Wow.
But one thing about this castle,
Yeah.
compared to some of the other ones, is that it is all Edwardian. You know, like some castles, it got added
Built on,
on to
yeah.
in different times, not in Victorian times, but
I know what you
Tudor
mean.
times.
Is that not the case here then? This is all Edwardian?
This is all Edwardian. It's pretty much as
It's a long
it was
time
built.
ago.
As it
Isn't
was
it?
built, yeah.
Something that I've noticed is just the walls, I suppose it's typical in castles, but they're extremely thick.
So if you were trying to attack, there were arrows
Yeah.
all the way down. This is the idea that I was saying about, you know, with the moat.
Yeah.
They weren't full of water. There's no evidence to say it were full of water, but they dug down just so that they had the height.
So you couldn't get in easily.
So they were designed so that they had the height for people coming in, but if they actually got in, they didn't want that height because they wanted to be able to
Yeah.
attack them at
Which
like
makes
ground
sense.
level. The county jail.
Oh, that's it. That's the jail. I knew there was a jail.
That
Saw
was
that.
the county jail. Up
Closed
to
in
1927. You can tell architecture's different.
Yeah.
It looks pretty imposing, that, when you look at the back of that as well.
Yeah, it does.
This is the Royal Welsh Yacht Club.
It's a nice archway, isn't it?
It's gorgeous. We'll have a look down there. And also, if you want to hire some bikes to go around the town, you can get some there. They've got loads of bikes. Look at this. Look at them doors. We love
They're
them.
old doors.
And then this leads out to the sea on the castle walls.
Hello. They've got
That's
little phrases on here, look. Can anybody help us? What does that say, please?
Yeah. I think one thing that we've come to think about more since we've been doing this is when we get 20, hopefully 30 years from now, it'll be nice for us to look back on and just see what Britain looked like back then.
It's changing, isn't it?
So everything's changing
All the
so
time.
fast. And it always changes. You know,
Yeah.
this has changed. It's always changed. But I think we all like a snapshot of our
Of time.
slice
Yeah.
in life. Did you know that they did have glass? This castle, when it was built
Edwardians.
in 1284, they actually put glass windows in.
Is that real?
It's true. They used to use
Wow.
potash and sand. So we've got a massive anchor here, and it's not clear. HMS Conway. It was launched as HMS Nile in 1839. It's 5 tons. 5 tons. Think about that, Claire.
That's heavy.
An SUV car, like a Porsche Cayenne,
Yeah.
is about 2 tons.
Really?
Yeah. This is the sailing club,
Ahoy!
and it says
Ahoy there!
visitors welcome.
I wonder if anybody's been in and said ahoy there.
You get thrown out.
I love the noise of boats. It's a bit scary though.
Why?
I don't know, it reminds me of like Jaws, which is one of my
Cape Fear.
favourite films of all time. Yeah.
What, Jaws?
Yeah, absolutely brilliant film.
I come back here for Pink Floyd show. It's a gallery. Australian Pink Floyd. They're supposed to be the best ones.
Really?
Yep. So this is the perimeter
Yeah.
of the walls.
Who goes there? That's what I'd say if I lived here in the olden days. What would you say?
None of your business. If you lived in Caernarfon, would you prefer to live outside of the walls or inside of the walls?
In.
Why? You feel more protected?
Probably you wouldn't be, would you, in hindsight?
Well,
But,
the thing is, you're going to get motorhome through that, aren't you?
I mean, they've not designed that very well, have they?
Made our way into the back streets.
Oh, what's this thing there? Look, site of the first county school.
And
It's a bed and breakfast now.
It's a bed and breakfast. This is a nice place for a bed and breakfast.
Nice street.
Again, look at that, guys. Spotless.
Look at that door.
Oof. If ever there were a cheap pint, shall we go in, see if we can win meat raffle?
Get yourself in Club It Bingo.
They like to do cameras in clusters around here, don't they?
What is all that?
So this is what?
The Black Boy.
And why is this so famous then?
I think it's the oldest. It's built in 1522.
It says it's a real Welsh pub.
Yeah, 1522. That's very old.
1522. Oh, we are now allowing well-behaved dogs on a lead in the public bar area until 5:30. It does say no dogs, but there's another thing. I'll just double check.
Go on then, I'll wait here. I got lost.
Did you?
It's quite big, isn't it?
It's
It's a
quite.
restaurant next door.
Yeah, it's a great little pub.
Yeah.
One thing I would say,
Yeah.
anybody that's bought our hoodies, this is probably not the pub to wear it in because it's quite a warm pub.
Yeah. You taking your hoodie off?
No, I'm not. You've got a prototype, haven't you?
I've got a prototype fleece for winter. It's not good enough for what we want.
No, we're not
We
quite.
won't be getting these.
No, unfortunately. It's not what we asked for really, but anyway.
But the good thing is though, we're trying all the different ones before we sell them. We won't sell them if we don't.
If they don't work
Good
for
enough.
us, then hopefully they'll work for you. Hey look, there's a sign up there, it says caution. When ordering bass, insist on seeing the label. That's some brewery rep that needs his sales, isn't it? Anyway, so because we've come to such a historic pub, and it is 1522,
Yeah.
I thought I'd get some traditional drinks.
Okay.
So today we're going to try some Madrid. This street, it's Northgate that we're on, but the Welsh name for it, which I can't pronounce, it means 4 shillings and 6 pence, and that's because it's what sailors would pay for a room, a bottle of gin, and services of a lady.
And a lady.
It's the old red light area. That's where we are. There's a couple of spooky facts about this as well.
Spooky facts.
Spooky facts. So they excavated at the side of the pub in the 90s,
Yeah.
and they found the skeleton of an old woman. They thought that she were there to save the expense of a burial.
So somebody just dumped her basically.
Another spooky fact.
Yeah.
There's a nun, there's a ghost, and she walks through the pub thinking that she's on her way to a nunnery.
Right.
She's got stuck in time.
So have people seen that, have they?
I don't believe in that stuff, do you?
There's something strange.
Look at that, all that money on there. Do you remember when we went to that holiday place? We put $1 on wall. We went back next day, it's gone missing. Now this here, the Exchequer and Chancery of the Principality of North Wales was founded. And then up here, this is my favourite street.
Okay.
This is called the Hole in the Wall.
Street.
Hole in the Wall Street.
I love that
That's
name.
right. Back in the early 1900s, there were a load of temperance halls, you know, where you couldn't get a drink, you could get a soft drink, but no
Not
alcohol.
alcohol, right?
But this street were cut against it all. And it was, it had 15 tavernas on it. So you could go-
Really?
so even back then, you could go on a pub crawl.
Rate that out. We'd love it.
And that's a market hall there. But look at this.
1832. Oh, some bikes
Not only bikes, Harley Davidson
being washed.
in a Honda Shadow.
It's a big Greek restaurant, isn't it?
Yeah.
What a fantastic picture.
Well, this is it, you see?
Temperance.
Temperance houses.
Temperance.
That's right.
You see it all the way down.
Well, you can see just there, this building is actually the Greek restaurant.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
And there were a bigger building down at the bottom. And there, the walls, you see.
Yeah.
A lot of temperance. Stand here in 1610 and you would have been at the entrance to Pepper Lane. However, since 1770, this street has taken its name from the hole in the town walls which allows the road to run along the castle's outer ditch. Most of the other streets have retained their original names, and each reflects the street's purpose during the heyday of the Norman English town.
Oh, love it.
That's a lot of effort for
Nothing really.
just...
Waste of time, that one, isn't it?
I don't get that deal.
No. Oh, I'm back in the square now, look.
That brings us to the end of our tour in Caernarfon. We've had a great day, actually.
Loved it.
Loads to see. And good thing about here, I think, you haven't got that far to walk. It's all very contained. It is, isn't it? Somebody asked how many steps we did. We're up to about, I don't know, 55,000 in a day. What do you do? That is us done. What a great place to come. Remember, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. It really helps us. We'll see you on our next trip. But I feel like Claire's got something to say.
We have Facebook and Instagram as well. Please take a look.
Yes. So have a great evening.
Goodbye.
Bye.